All right, folks, let's talk about the teachings of Lord Krishna, the yogas of the Bhagavad Gita. So, as we learned in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna reveals himself as an avatar or human incarnation of the supreme god Vishnu. And Krishna preaches to Arjuna about the existence of the Atman, the reality of reincarnation, and the ultimate goal of life, moksha. So, how does one attain moksha according to Lord Krishna? For Krishna, to experience moksha, one must practice what is called seva, or selfless service. And seva means to dedicate one's actions to God without thought of self-interest. In other words, when an individual practices selfless service, every action that is done in life is done for God, not for oneself. Hence why it is called selfless service. You are forgetting yourself, as it were, in the things that you do in this life. And when an individual performs seva, it is regarded as good karma, actions resulting in detachment from the earthly world. So when you practice seva, you learn to attach yourself to God and detach yourself from the world. And ultimately, if you dedicate your entire life to seva, upon death your soul or Atman will become detached from the world of reincarnation and you will experience moksha. And that is because your entire life is kind of like a training period in which you are gradually kind of detaching yourself from the world and attaching yourself to God. So when you die, your Atman is ready to rejoin God. Now, how does one practice selfless service? Answer: by adopting one of the four yogas or four disciplines. And they would be Karma Yoga, the path of work, Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, Raja Yoga, the path of mental and physical discipline, and Bhakti Yoga, the path of love and devotion. So how exactly does Seva work when you adopt one of these yogas? Well, let's go through an example. So let's say that you dedicate your life to the path of work, and therefore you dedicate yourself to performing your caste duties to please God. So if you are a gifted artisan and you create beautiful pottery, you do your duty out of love for God, not out of love for the profit you attain from selling the pots. And by doing so, you are detaching yourself from worldly pleasure, like money, and attaching yourself to God. And with Bhakti Yoga, you dedicate yourself to a life of prayer and offering to God. So upon experiencing death, the devotee to Bhakti Yoga is ready to leave the world and to lovingly embrace God in the afterlife. Again, why? Because by going through, religious ritual, prayer, establishing a loving God, in this case with Vishnu, then again, the Atman is just ready to leave this world, is ready to rejoin Vishnu in the afterlife. Um, because you are so in love with Vishnu that the soul just wants to rejoin him. So, in the Gita, regardless of caste, talents, and personality, all people can experience moksha in this lifetime if they faithfully adopt one of the four yogas. Now, these four yogas are not just limited to Vishnu worship, in Hinduism today, but rather they have become rather popular practices throughout the Hindu tradition, and they are still practiced to this day.